Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. GitLab CI/CD, episode 6 of 14. You just committed a typo fix to a markdown file, and suddenly your pipeline kicks off a 20-minute end-to-end test suite. That is a massive waste of both compute minutes and your patience. To stop running heavy jobs when they are not needed, you control execution using the rules keyword. The rules keyword determines exactly when a job is added to a pipeline. If you have been around GitLab for a while, you might remember using only and except to filter jobs. Those are legacy keywords. Rules is the modern, more powerful replacement. Under the hood, rules takes a list of conditions. GitLab evaluates this list from top to bottom. As soon as it finds a match, it stops looking and either adds the job or skips it, depending on how you configured that specific rule. There are three main conditions you can evaluate. The first is if. The if condition evaluates pipeline variables using a simple logical expression. You can tell a deployment job to run only if the commit branch matches the default branch. If the variable evaluation returns true, the rule matches. Now, the second condition checks file modifications using the changes keyword. This evaluates whether the current push modified any files matching a specific path or wildcard. This is where you save real money. Consider a heavy JavaScript linting job. You do not want this linter chewing up CPU cycles if a backend developer only touched database configuration files. You add a rule using changes and specify the wildcard for .js files. If the commit includes changes to a JavaScript file, the rule matches and the linter runs. If no JavaScript files were touched, the job is entirely excluded from the pipeline. The third condition is exists. Instead of checking variables or recent modifications, exists simply checks if a specific file is present in the repository at that moment. You might have a generic pipeline template used by multiple projects. You can define a container build job with an exists role pointing to a Docker file. If the project has a Docker file in its root directory, the job runs. If it does not, the job is skipped entirely. Here's the key insight. Finding a match does not automatically mean the job runs. When a rule evaluates to true, it applies a secondary instruction using the when attribute. By default, a matching rule assumes the job should be added to the pipeline, but you can explicitly define a rule with when set to never. This is highly effective for block listing. You can put a rule at the top of your list that says if the commit message contains the word draft, set when to never. Since rules are evaluated top to bottom, that job is instantly killed before any other conditions are checked. If you remember one thing about controlling execution, it is that order dictates outcome. Place your exclusion rules at the very top of your list, because the moment GitLab finds a true condition, it stops reading and locks in the decision. I would like to take a moment to thank you for listening. It helps us a lot. Have a great one.